Traveling in your 30s is drastically different from traveling in your early 20s. At least that's been my experience. I'm Nosheen. I'm a solo female travel blogger. Been traveling a ton, and in my mid 20s, which is my definition of early 20s, I lived in Madrid for a year. I'm going to link the video of how I managed to do that. And during that time, I traveled all over Europe. What I'm noticing this time around as I now travel in my early 30s is that quite a few things are different. Let's just list them. Difference number one is I do have more money. I first became aware of this when people started commenting on some of my travel videos about how I must be rich and must have someone funding my travels. And I do. It's me. I am blessed and privileged to have gotten a really good education and now have a job. I do work while I travel. And I also know what it's like to travel when you don't have a lot of money. And looking back, I see a huge difference in how I used to experience places, how I used to even think about travel than what I am able to do now. Two, I am more of a foodie now, and I know that part of that is directly because I have the money to be a foodie. When I was traveling around a lot in my mid-20s and working in Spain and not making a lot of money, I was like, I didn't understand why anyone would spend money on food. I would just buy, food from the grocery store all the time. And now food is a big part of my actual travel experience because I can afford it. And by afford it, I mean, afford the nicer dining experiences and not have to think about every coffee I buy and all of those things. Three, kind of going along with that though, is I have more to-dos. I am not, at least for now, one of those people who has quit my job and saved up a lot of money to be able to travel. I have some financial goals and responsibilities that don't make that a reality for me now. So I have a lot to do. I'm working, I'm in grad school, I have a travel blog that I'm passionate about. I also run a podcast. So there's a lot to balance with traveling these days for me in my 30s. Also, I need more stuff, like all the skincare. And if you've seen the video, I'm going to link it if you haven't, you know what I mean. I also need more comforts. I don't think I could stay in a hostel again, especially after the pandemic. So I'm not the bougiest person I know, and I'm not the bougiest person most people know, but I gotta have a nice place to stay. Last two. I now prefer slower travel, and I put less pressure on myself to see all of the things. I love traveling in my 30s.